I started sewing a year ago, and over this past year, I've made a lot of items. I lost count, but probably 45, 50 items. And I have to say, a lot of them were a bust. That's what happens when you learn how to sew. But there were a number that actually turned out quite well. And I'm going to talk about the top 10 favorite ones today. Hi, I'm Caroline. Welcome to Sweet Pea Sewing. So let's get started on favorite make number 1. Tilly and the Buttons Nell Blouse. And this actually was my second make ever. And I made 2 of them, and one of them turned out a bit better, fit me better. This is when I started to understand fit a little bit better. Here's a picture of me in it, and honestly, I was thrilled with how it turned out, considering this was the second blouse I'd ever made. It's such a cute blouse. The fabric choice, I would say, wasn't too great. Again, fabric is a big learning curve with sewing. This is a thrifted linen blend of some kind, and it's a little bit too stiff for this particular pattern. The first one I made was from a thrifted, I think a rayon-like fabric, and it draped much better, but it was way too large. But I really like this blue one, and so it is make number 1. On to make number 2. Now this blouse you'll have seen me wear many, many times. And again, this was very early on in my sewing journey, so another big win. It is the Jennifer Lauren Ashling blouse. And it has a square neckline, which I found really suits me. So I've gone on to make quite a few other patterns with this square neckline, and I definitely look for that if I want to buy another pattern. But this is a very easy to make pattern, and it just turned out really well. I learned about mitered corners and how to make sure that those turn out well as set-in sleeves and a few other things. It just was a great make. On to make number 3. Now this top arose because of my search for free patterns during March's Sew Frugal challenge. I was actually stunned at the amount of free patterns out there, and really sadly a lot of these companies don't have them free anymore. This one is from fabricstore.com and is the Anka top, and I don't believe it's free anymore, although I think it is fairly reasonable. But I was worried about the sewing instructions, but they were great. There isn't any printed sewing instructions per se, but there are pictures along with descriptions on the website. Now, this was also made from a thrifted linen blend. The color choice for me isn't great, but I was really, again, very pleased with how the top turned out. First time I'd done a little pocket. I had done the button placket before with the Nell blouse, but this challenged me again, and it really turned out well. It has a high-low hem, scoop neckline, which actually I quite like with the button placket. I was really happy with it. I haven't made it again, but I will. It's a great pattern. Now, I received this pattern from my son and his wife for my birthday back in April, and it's a Style Arc Zelia dress and blouse, and this is right up there as one of my very favorite. I love Style Arc patterns anyway. They just seem to suit me well, and with minor adjustments. The first one I made was from a thrifted duvet, beautiful watercolor print, and ironically I found the exact same duvet recently again. So I'm really going to have to think about what I'm going to make with that. But I love the Zelia dress. I also have made tops from it, quite a few tops and another dress. and it just is a lovely pattern. It is a bit challenging. I found the neckline, I really had to slow down and make sure that I paid attention. There is a sew-along for it. Style Art does have a lot of sew-alongs, and that helped tremendously. Make number 5 is also another Zelia dress in a beautiful linen rayon blend from Fabricland, which is a national chain here in Canada. And I love this print. It's just such a nice, summery, beautiful dress. And I love wearing it. It's very cool. It's very flowy. There's no tightness to it. So I will be making a number of Zelia tops and dresses again in the future. It just is a fantastic pattern. On to garment number 6. New Look 6517. I discovered this shift dress. I tried a few other patterns with shift dress and they looked horrible on me. Just the simple straight block did not look good on me at all. But this particular straight dress I absolutely loved. And I made quite a few of them. I think 3 or 4 of them. And they are just such a beautiful, perfect, simple summer dress. I made it from this beautiful purpley tan rayon from Fabricland, and I just love this dress, and I'll again be making a lot of them. They also have a top included with the pattern, and I made a number of the tops, although I did discover recently that I have a very long torso and I have to be careful with cropped tops because they come up above my belly button. Because I'm only just under 5'4", this was a bit of a surprise to me, and one of the learning curves, take measurements, which I had not done until recently, that particular length, but I have shorter legs and a longer torso. So what I've discovered is normally I have to lengthen my shirts, tops, bodices by a couple of inches in order to get, a reasonable length on it, a proper length. And going hand in hand with that, I have to shorten any pants by 2 or 3 inches as well. It's good to take your measurements. On to garment number 7. Another pattern company that I absolutely love is Love Notions. I've got lots and lots of their patterns. They have excellent instructions and I just like the style. The lyric dress quickly became one of my favorites, and I've made 3 of them to date, and this black and white one is one of my favorites. They have lots of sleeve options, and I made this one with a bishop sleeve. This is made again from Fabricland, a beautiful cotton poplin, and it's so light and airy. I actually made this as a fall dress, but because it's so light and airy, it definitely can be worn in the spring as well. It just is a nice favorite of mine. And I love the top version as well. The top, the lyric top, is very cute and has a button placket, and it just is, again, one of my favorites. On to garment number 8. So another Style Art pattern that I'd heard a lot about and wanted to try was the Hope dress. And that is what I'm currently wearing from a beautiful flannel, again bought from Fabricland. If you have never tried a Style Art pattern, try the Hope dress. It really is very, very straightforward. There are a couple of sew-alongs. They're both excellent. I've actually used both. It just has the raglan bodice gathered across here, and there are a number of sleeve options. It also has a fantastic extension pack, which I have, and it's on my goal list for 2026 to try. I just love this dress. I actually did binding around the neck rather than the facing. Facing gives a very clean look, but then you sort of get the flappiness of it. I like binding too, but it's not as clean and flat looking. I guess you have to decide which one you'd prefer. But this one I made with binding. It came together really fast. It's lovely and warm in this flannel. You could make this dress out of almost every fabric that you can imagine, except maybe something really thick, although on the Style Arc Facebook group I have seen a number of these made out of a bit of a thicker corduroy. So it really does lend itself to beautifully flowy rayon all the way up to a bit thicker fabric. Try it. You will not regret it. Garment number 9, another hope dress. This one I actually made before this one, and it's a little bit too big on me. This one is a size 14. The blue one is a size 16. It's made out of, again, a Fabricland cotton poplin, which lends itself beautifully to it. It has a bit more structure in the fabric, but I still think it looks gorgeous, and they are going to be one of my biggest makes come this summer because they're just such a lovely, lovely dress and come together so quickly. My 10th garment of the year is the Soho 7 toaster sweater. Now, I did this in a collaboration with Annette from Sewing in Michigan, and this again is such a great pattern. It's very beginner friendly and comes together very quickly, and I had no issues with it. I made version B. I'd like to make version A. I'm really behind on my winter sewing. I kind of came into it really fast. It was all of a sudden, oh, it's cold, and now here in Western BC, it is getting really cold. January, February, and March are definitely our coldest months here. It's a damp cold, so it's very, very chilly. Really seeps into your bones. So I need to make some more sweaters, and Soho 7 toaster sweater is on my list. So I really hope you enjoyed this recap of my 10 favorite makes in 2025. 2026, I've got lots of plans, and I really hope that I'll have more successes than failures. I think I will. I think I will. When you start sewing, you know, it's a big learning curve. Anyway, I hope you like this video. I hope you're subscribed, and please leave a comment as to whether you've made any of these, what your thoughts are on them, whether they were a success or failure. I'd love to know what fabrics you made out of them if you did make, and which ones really appealed to you. Take care, happy sewing. We'll see you in 2026. Bye-bye.